Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 28th through July 4th. And during that time, we have a full moon that comes in on the 30th. And that, of course, that could be a time of heightened emotions or feeling a little overwhelmed or anxious. Some people might get a little irritable. You may have changes in your sleeping patterns. I know I do. I can that full moon. It comes right in through the curtains. Even if there's just a little sliver, it will catch me every time late at night. So I'm like, oh, that's right. It's like anyway. But it is a good time for us to release resentment and fear, or to practice patience and calm. If you're like me, I'm very energetic, so but it does wake me up, and a lot of times I get up and do things. I just wonder sometimes what my neighbors think, because if I'm up at 2 a.m. and it's a full moon, I'm probably doing a project or something, and it looks like, all the lights in the house are on and I'm busy. Anyway, I take advantage of that, and you should as well. All right. Also, we then move into the waning gibbous energy. Sorry, I got all excited talking about my full moon. The waning gibbous is about self-reflection and rebirth. Of course, it's way calmer. You can get back to your sleep schedule that you have. Good time to make positive changes and also get rid of bad habits and negative thinking. So keep those moon energies in mind, Cancer, as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't right here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, Cancer, is to meditate and contemplate, which I believe I've had that card already. It might have been Taurus or Aries, I can't remember. I've already had that card pop up for this week, though, so you're not the only one meditating and contemplating, Cancer. So as I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you try to pay attention to the synchronistic things that are going on around you in the universe. So this is a whole language, and you either see it or you don't. And if you don't see it, if you do see it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't see it, if you can pay attention and try to open yourself up a little bit more to, like, just remind yourself, put a little post-it note on your bathroom mirror that says, watch for the synchronicities today. Just remind yourself every morning to just do it and see if it opens up something for you, because once you start seeing them, they just start pouring in. So that is my fun weekly reminder, is be open to seeing the synchronicities in the universe and just paying attention to them and what they mean for your life. So okay, Cancer, let's get into this reading. I'm very babbly, my apologies. Apparently very talkative today, so let's get into this reading. June 28th through July 4th. Meditate and contemplate. Your present energy, Cancer, is the Eight of Cups. So you are definitely seeking. You're definitely in a place where you're kind of like, what's next? What's next for me? What do I need to do right now? And maybe you've made that decision and you're out there, but you do have some support at your back there with this cup. So you've got, friends and family, people around you that love and support, and whatever it is that you seek out to do. So that's a really good feeling. Your current situation is the Five of Cups. So sometimes seeking does come from grief, comes from a place, where, you know, of great unhappiness. You look around and either something has happened to you that has made you kind of feel this grief. This could be loss, some kind of change of something, but it certainly does make us have to seek, to go out and seek what else. Again, even though these cups are knocked over, remember that you do have the support at your back, and you've got this support here. So twice now you're getting the message that you do have support at your back. So make sure that you are, if you need to lean on that support, make sure that you are doing that at this time, Cancer. At the root of your situation is the Two of Pentacles. So you might be trying to just juggle your material world. Maybe there's been some sort of change when it comes to your income. Maybe there's been, for some, maybe a layoff or some change in your housing situation. So, you might be just trying to juggle things, or maybe just not a change. There's just more stress going on for some reason. And it could be just because of this grief situation. If there's been some sort of loss or something that you've had to experience, yeah, it gets harder to kind of just juggle life, So again, you've got support at your back, and that might be, you may just need to ask for help a little bit. I know that that's not something a Cancer would typically do, but reach out. You've got support and people do want to help you. So if you need to reach out and ask for that help, then please do that. What is in your recent past here is the 10 of Pentacles. So, you come into all of this and kind of in a place, it's kind of rocked your world. It's rocked your happy world where you were like, oh, everything's great. And, this is life. We all do this where we get in these places and you do feel like everything's great. And then boom, here comes something in to kind of knock us a little bit off balance. But again, keep seeking and keep figuring out, what you need to do to pick up the pieces and move on. That's what we all have to do. And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard, especially right after something happens, but it does get better, right? It gets better over weeks and months. So just make sure you have that little that little hope spark there. Just know that it does get better. And again, you do have support at your back, and do try to use that if you can. What is on your mind this week is the Wheel of Fortune. So, the Wheel of Fortune is about how we evolve. And it is about, like I said, life changing on a dime. I mean, sometimes things happen, you're plodding along and you're like, oh, everything's great. Bam, this thing happens. And that's the Wheel of Fortune, is that life is, what the wheel in the sky keeps turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. I always think of that song when I hear this, when I see this card, because you don't. Things happen and it's like, oh, your life just suddenly changes and life is different. And it could just be an awareness that you're having. And sometimes it is, there's some sort of catalyst for that that just changes us. And life is just about those ever evolving changes that happen. It is what it is. It's never going to stay the same. Just that's why you try to be as much in the moment as you can so that you can extract those moments and try to hold on to them, at least in your memory, right? So but yeah, that's what's on your mind. It's like, wow, it's almost like, wow, that changed, my whole life is different now. And it can take one moment to do that, 1 second. Okay, what is just ahead of you this week is a card that I've already seen a few times in different readings. And this is the Five of Pentacles, which is about feeling like an outsider. And of course, now we've got two fives on the table for you. So, and actually two tens as well. I had this situation with another reading. Um, anyway, let's continue on. Feeling like an outsider, probably because of this situation. And I don't blame you. But make sure that you're not comparing yourself to others. Um, because we all go through this. We all go through these moments of grief and sadness and change and abrupt change that we're not really thrilled about. But, again, you're going to have to seek out that happiness and keep moving forward, because looking back, things do soften over time. And things do, sometimes you look back and you're like, well, it's a good thing that happened because it moved me to this better place. That's typically what happens. So in your advice position here is the Six of Cups, which is about reminiscing. So that's really funny, because when I was talking about the Wheel of Fortune there, and I was talking about really just enjoying the moments, that's really all we have, because nothing's ever going to stay the same. And, there's the band Rush, they've got a song lyric, and it's freeze this moment a little bit longer, make each sensation a little bit stronger. It's just such a great lyric. I think it's in the Time Stands Still song. And that the song kind of reminds me of this, especially when it's nostalgia, because that's what we have as our memories of things, especially as we move forward into the future. Things don't stay the same, and you do have to kind of freeze those moments. And sometimes music can get you back there. Sometimes a friend reaching out to an old friend, just talking and laughing, can kind of get you back there as well. I'm even getting a little just emotional feeling about, because nostalgia is, it does take us back, and it's bittersweet sometimes. So, all right, in your okay, beyond your control, let me maintain my control here. I'm really feeling your emotions here, though. I just want to breathe with you, Cancer. You're going to be just fine. Okay, what is beyond your control this week is the World card. This is about an ending, the world, and it's about balance, and it's about finding harmony and perfect balance and freedom. This can be this is the end of the fool's journey in the major arcana. So it is an ending, but it doesn't have to be a sad ending. It could be a happy ending once you get over these emotions of whatever this change has been, right? um Again, it is what it, I mean, this could be the loss of a parent or a grandparent, and it is life changing, but it does soften over time. I just say that grief never goes away, but it's something that Um, yeah, over time. And you have those nostalgic moments to look back on, and you just have to really, use your memory in that way. And again, remember that you have all this support at your back, Cancer. All right, what is your secret desire? What are you trying to avoid? Is the Knight of Wands, which is about action on the passion front. I'm already getting the feeling that you're just trying to avoid this. Many times I feel like this card ends up being understood to me as a secret desire, and I almost feel like you just don't have it in you to get up and do the things that excite you and that make you, and it's okay. You can take a break of all that for just a little bit. Um, so if that's you, I mean, if it is your secret desire, and it might be both, it might be what you really desire, but you're also trying to avoid it. Um, just because you're in all these other feelings and whatever right now, which I understand. So, but if it's something that can take you out of your element for a little bit, something you really enjoy, maybe pushing yourself to do it, um, it might take that a little extra push, but it might make you feel a little bit better. So think about that. When it comes to, like, if let's say that you very passionate about golf and it's just the last thing on your mind right now, you've got all this stuff you're going through. It's like that's not anyone to think about that. But you have a friend that's like, hey, let's go do it. And it might be the thing that kind of, pulls you out. Again, that's some of that support. It might be someone to talk to have those nostalgic conversations with. So sometimes that's just your friend wanting to do an activity so that they can kind of pull you up and help you out a little bit. In your outcome position here, Cancer, is the Moon card, which I was talking at the beginning about synchronistic things and using our intuition and those things that come to us in dreams. That may be very, very strong for you this week. If you're dealing with loss or dealing with something, write that stuff down. It happens. And it's a treasure when it does happen. So if you're having dreams or encounters or things that are happening or synchronistic things, just try to keep track of them, try to pay attention to them as much as you can, because those things are really important. Again, your overall was meditate and contemplate. So definitely be thinking about all of those things. It's a very deep week for you, for Cancers. All right, what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands. So yeah, that's more of the passion. I just feel like there's a kind of a lack of passion this week because you're managing all of this. And I understand, again, just even it's hard enough just to get the bills paid and juggle everything. So reach out and ask for help if you need it. There's people around you. They may want to take you out and do the thing that they know that you find joy in, just to get you to talk and have fun. But I feel like you are dealing with something pretty heavy here. I mean, again, it could be a loss or loss of a job, or some move or something, some big giant disruption that has really really got you down. But you're going to pull yourself out. You're going to be just fine. It may not be this week. This may take a while, and this may be there for months, the kind of low lying, right? But life does go on, and you do get better. So, all right, let's see what you need to do. Or here's the final message from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here from Cancer: face your adversary. So whatever this adversary is, you are just going to have to face it. It is what it is. And that's the Wheel of Fortune. That's what happens. That's why we're all doing it. We're all with you, Cancer. We're all cheering you on. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. And I am feeling, I mean, especially this nostalgia thing, like, ooh, that really just got me on your reading too. So you'll get there. You'll get there, Cancer. All right. Self-care for Cancer this week is the card called Abundance. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. And now we've got this card here, this 10 of Pentacles, which was kind of just in your past. So I feel like, you know, you're in an abundant place, and again, trying to juggle it, but when you can manage it better, you do get more. That might be something for you to focus on. That could be a passion that you do focus on, and maybe it is a little harder for you this week. So face your adversaries, meditate, contemplate. You have a lot going on this week. I'm not even sure what I will title this video. I'm gonna have to think about it for a minute, but and it might just be hang in there, Cancer. That's what I'm feeling right now. Hang in there, because it does get better. I know tarot readings are a week by week thing here on this channel, but life doesn't happen in a week. it takes a lot longer for some things to play out. And of course, we all have many, many different things going on. There's many layers to it. So, whatever this is for you, I don't see it that it's going to just wrap right up. I feel like this is going to be something that's ongoing and underlying. And again, it does get better. It gets better. So you're just going to have to believe that because it's true. Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer this for you as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is really nice of you, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you in advance for doing that. But thanks for being here, Cancer. Good luck with all of this, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.